Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Norhidayah Fitriani, and for this video, I will explain about my paper. And the title of my paper in qualitative research is a qualitative research in teaching English as a foreign language. And I will using PPT or PowerPoint to make it clear my explanation. As I said before, my title for this paper is a qualitative research in TEFL or teaching English as a foreign language. And first, I want to tell or explain the introduction in my paper. It's about qualitative research in TEFL. There are 4 points that I want to explain. First is purpose, qualitative research in TEFL, purpose of this article, benefit of researchers using qualitative research in their research, and methods of qualitative research. First is purpose of qualitative research in TEFL. Qualitative research is one of research methods that increase to accommodate the complexity of teaching of language teaching and learning. The research topic in this journal is about language teaching and learning that focus on traditional applied linguistic research such as English as a second language equation. With a further discussion on language teaching and learning research methods, researchers began to explore the application and features of the qualitative research methods in real research. Number 2 is the purpose of this article. And the purpose of this article is to examine the complexity of qualitative research by investigating the trends of its use. And as example, I want to explain about some question, like answer some question like what are the trends in the use of qualitative research in the field of teaching and learning English as a second language equation in the last 10 years or 15 years. And also this study critically evaluates the current state of qualitative research in the field of language learning and teaching. Present the issue that should be considered in the future undertaking of qualitative inquiry. And benefit of researchers using qualitative research in their research is using qualitative research can help researchers to know and realize the complex habit, behaviors, and individual learners' experience when they learn English. Qualitative research also is effective for studying learners' experience and behavior when they learn English, since research finding from tightly controlled experimental design. And types of qualitative research or methods of qualitative research. In the field of TEFL, there are 5 methods that researchers often use. And also, it's not only 5 methods, but this is like the common methods that researchers always use is phenomenology, case study, grounded research, discourse and content analysis, and ethnography. Number 2 is methods. Study surveying qualitative research in TEFL is still no clear picture of the exact qualitative methods and approach employed. Some of researchers use qualitative with ethnography approach and narrative inquiry. However, there are many variations in the research approach. Some researchers have asserted their view on which approaches are effective for research teaching and learning English, and there are several trend methods used by researchers for 10 years in TEFL. And for the methods, first we have to know types of categorization. Categorize on table 1, categorize to differentiate some approaches. Like there are 3 approaches, like qualitative, mixed methods, and quantitative. And because in this paper about the approach is qualitative, there are 3 categories. Like the author explicitly state that the study is qualitative, the data is analyzed qualitatively, and it can be reasonably assumed that the study is qualitative. And for another picture, B, features of qualitative research. Table 2 explain about the definition, methods in qualitative research. Like some approach, for example, case study, ethnography, action research, observation, interview, open response items in questionnaires or ORIC, introspective techniques, discourse analysis, conversation analysis, and another the definition you can see on the picture. Like for example, case study, the explanation is written as a case study. Titles contains plus in certain place, finding are focused within some boundary. Number 3 is the findings. Findings first, data collection. Most of researchers, like I said before, normally classify qualitative research methods in TEFL is 5 traditional methods such as ethnography, case study, grounded theory, phenomenology, and narrative inquiry in research or in their study. And for data analysis in table 3, the statistic of collected data based on the specific analysis of 205 articles of TEFL from 2001 until 2015, with the result that qualitative research methods into 5 categories. First is there's no article about phenomenology in the study, and the reason why is the main reason because phenomenology is not a very convenient method, especially for TEFL researchers to do their study on research. And second is ethnography. It's also often used by language teaching research. There are 23 articles in total, and some of them in ethnography relative to classroom education, and some of about the methods adopted by researchers and related to second language researchers in a classroom. And for case study case study has the highest percentage of TEFL. Case study is like a common approach used in language teaching and learning research, and there are like 149 articles that explain using a case study, with the percentage is 72.8%, and it's because case study is more flexible than other qualitative research or qualitative methods. And for narrative methods, it's also gets highest articles that using narrative is like 32 numbers of article, and with the percentage is 15.6% from 2001 until 2015. For the figures like ethnography, case study, and narrative inquiry, You can see on my paper to know the graphic, which one has the highest increase graphic and which one is not. And for table 4, types of methods in qualitative research studies, also the same like the first types tables, not the last tables of methods in qualitative research study, but it's only the difference is the score, the total score or the percentage in this qualitative research studies, because also use the different articles. And for table 5, number of participants and length of research periods in qualitative research is the number of participants. Almost half of all of the qualitative research articles involve less than 10 participants, like 14%, like 2 until 5 participants, percentage like 25%, and 6 until 10 participants. And for 14%, which means the most of qualitative research studies use a relatively small number of participants, and those each articles may result in a rather small scale of study. And as for the length of research periods, longitudinal research was conducted less often than short-term investigation. And for table 6, participants contribution in qualitative research. The table 6 shows the participant attribution in qualitative research. Out of 126 qualitative research papers in 191, or the percentage is 79%, concern one or both the teachers and learners participant. Also, some papers had more than 2 attribution, pushing the total number to 243. And this is not surprising result, given that qualitative research is often employed when dealing with participants' experience and perception. And you can see the number of participants, and I think you only have to see the total of the participant attribution in qualitative research. Number 4 is the discussion. The result of this study shows that in data analysis in 205 articles from 2001 until 2015, there's no data about phenomenology, and the highest percentage is there are 149 articles is case study with percentage is 72.8%. And from 2006 until 2015, in 536 articles indicates that the case study has still the highest percentage. There are 181 articles with 65%. And the participants in qualitative research, the participant in all methods in qualitative research only have the less than 10 participants. And the contribution of participants in qualitative research, a specific participants such as teachers, students, or learners, or both of them, teachers and learners or students. That's only in teaching and learning English field. So it depends on the another field also have a different contribution of participants. And for further discussion about qualitative research, there are two discussion about ethic problems and validity of qualitative research. For ethic problem, for almost researchers must think about ethic problems when they try to use qualitative study for their research, and should relate it with the aims of that study, which is at people and all of activities that related to themselves. That's mean related to the participants. And validity of qualitative research. The validity of qualitative research is one of different criteria in qualitative research. Unfortunately, is a particular the consideration of data. Therefore, the description, analysis, or data interpretation establish the validity of qualitative research. And for conclusion, the result of this study informed that traits complex of qualitative research that use in language teaching and learning to some extent by investigating the details like the numbers of participants and the length of the research periods, the common methods in qualitative that researchers use, and the trends methods in qualitative research. However, the limitation of this research is that only can examine from 4 journals, even only 2 journals that provided more information about the topic that I have in my paper. So thank you for your attention, and I'm sorry if I still make a lot of mistake, and I hope you can understand. And if you want to know more, you can look at and read my paper. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.